All right. Round three of the Daily Dose, and I got someone asking me yesterday, kind enough to reach out in the DMs and say, what's the best advice you've gotten about starting over? And I said, it's a total mind f in terms of what your head goes through, because you're like, well, what are people going to think of me? Am I going to be perceived as a charlatan trying to essentially, push content out there? What if I don't have anything to say about it? And I asked a lot of people, both young, old, people that are in the game of social media and influencing and podcasting and everything else. And I've asked friends that, own traditional businesses that are looking back on their life and back on their career. What do you wish you would have done? What's that thing you wish you would have tried? And I think there are two bits of advice that I got that were really poignant and meaningful. I think the one is much more current. And I think that is that when looking at social media and taking a peek at Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform you're looking at, we see the highlights, especially the people that we admire. So we see like the Rock in front of his jet and pumping insane amount of weights on it in his gym. Like, that's awesome. But I think what's incredible is to go back and take a look at social media and look way, way, way back as far as you can possibly go at when like The Rock had a fanny pack on and a turtleneck, or looking at posts where people that you admire, whether it be like Tim Ferriss or Gary Vaynerchuk, or looking at old wine library episodes and being like, dude, this guy like 3 likes and he's in his basement talking about wine. That's the awesome thing, is you can go back and backtrack and almost reverse engineer the whole process and be like, I don't have to be as good as on social media or on anywhere else as good as what I see the highlights today. All I'm doing is competing against like me in the first quarter versus them in the first quarter. I just have to start. And if you look at these, some of them are just hilarious because they're hilariously bad. And I think, if you're willing to, look a little bit like a fool and intentionally be like, dude, I don't care if I look like an idiot on here. The attempt is to go out there and try and to start and to have fun with it. Like right now, my whole purpose is, getting a feel for this and trying new stuff on Facebook, Instagram, social media, installing new apps on my phone, playing with different media, playing with different ad spend, like literally just messing the whole thing up and just trying to increase my learning curve right now. So that's step one of it, is I think take the time. Like if you admire someone, an artist, a musician, a whatever it might be, sculptor, go look at their early works, because I think that is the best place to look at and be like, if they can make that and then make this, like I got this, as long as I'm willing to go through the time and the patience of going through the process here and being consistent with it. The second bit of advice I think was, especially when it comes to this type of media, is documentation versus creation. So I think the one thing that stopped me from doing this 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, was like I felt like I had to create content and I couldn't create content in my head fast enough to produce it. So this is more of a documenting the screw-ups, the F-ups, the mess-ups of all of it, and just being willing to take like a take here, put it up and be like, okay, this is like day 3 of hopefully 30 years of this content. I'm okay looking like or saying something that may not be perfect, but I think done in this sense, meaning something out, shipped, and put out into the world, is better than nothing. So that was advice that I passed along. I would love to hear from you guys, because some of you guys are watching this. What's the best advice you've received in regards to starting over? Is there anything that maybe I said that you agree with, maybe you don't agree with it, but what advice? I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, part of this is I get ideas from what you guys drop in the comment section below. So if you're following along, you're watching, like, I appreciate the hearts and I appreciate the love and I appreciate the fact that you're even watching this. But if you take 2 seconds to tell me what's the best advice you've gotten in terms of starting over, I would greatly appreciate that. So I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope you guys crush this weekend. Do something fun, do something meaningful, and we're going to keep rocking. Cheers.